Hello world! I've been in Lyon at the Directions EMEA Dynamics conference with nearly 3,000 attendees. We met there for 3 days, and we do this since a bunch of years already in one of the major cities of Europe. I could say a lot about Dynamics, but I'm focused on business intelligence because I'm a data guy. So I'm Andreas Kopischke. I'm the CEO of Datenkultur. Datenkultur is German, the meaning is data culture. So let's start. Let's see what happened. Of course, they told us a bunch of new information about the business functionalities from Dynamics BC, also from Dynamics for Sales, of course. But I would look to the BI part, and this is always a small and narrow focus. But this time they integrated the functionality into the client, where you can order or group or pivot your list pages. So that's a simple but pretty cool function if you need ad hoc data while working with your clients. So I love this feature. It's cool. It's really useful. If you would like to fumble around or try it out, you find a website, aka.ms/BC data analysis. There's a detailed how-to. You can try it even in a click scenario, but it didn't work for me. I tried to start it. I will try it again, but it will work for you or a little bit later, of course. What I really liked was they offered us a live demo of integrating one visual from an existing Power BI report. Not a whole report, but only one visual into the BC client. So they showed it live. They simply used or selected the composition tree and let us have a look a little more detailed. When they selected it, they grabbed the report ID and the visual ID, they copied the link of the visual, and then they put it into the AL source code. There is a sample code available. You can download this and try it out on yourself. So you only have to integrate the ideas you need into the AL code and you can use it. But what happened after it? When we opened the fact box, or when we opened the client and we opened the fact box of the customer in this case, the decomposition tree out of this Power BI report appeared. Cool stuff. So it's not a whole report, it's only a single visual, seamless integrated. This looked a little bit like they used the already since a couple of years already existing dashboard functionality. So nice, usable, useful, and integrated directly. What's in development? In development is the integration of a whole Power BI page directly in BC. So you could integrate it as a tile in earlier times already, but they are working on a page type where you can show a Power BI report and pop it up out of the client. This makes a lot of sense. Honestly, I'm awaiting this feature for a couple of years already, so it will come soon, and it will be used quite often. I'm pretty sure of this. What I told the Microsoft partners for ages as a BI guy, that reporting is key to selling ERP systems or applications if you're not directly familiar with Dynamics BC development. The customer would like to see what they got. They would like to see the data, the work I did. I earned something, I get something from this, I gained something. So reporting and analysis is pretty a key factor if you would like to get the deal and not your competitor. Don't underestimate it. So thanks Microsoft for emphasizing this. At last, there was about time. It is really an essential part of an ERP system. They also showed us some business intelligence related knowledge. There are different types of reports and analysis. There are operational things like what do you need to do. There are management parts, so what happened and why did it happen, and on the last area, there are leadership information. So this is the question about what do we have to do next? What's our strategic approach? And the higher you get in the organizational level, the higher aggregated normally the data go. So don't underestimate this is as well. This is a complex task and you had to understand a lot of the business to do this. They showed us that there will be, and is already, an Excel-Pivot experience where you can get data from BC for operational tasks. It's live data, so when you say refresh, then it's getting the refresh data. It's one of the options, and they are right now predefining a lot of queries inside the client, so you can connect from Excel to it. You can even enhance those queries, of course, and they choose the way. They already introduced an NAV 2009, so it's role centered. So we call it from the BI department analysis area. That's the same meaning. You can use those queries for Excel to get the data. You can use it also for Power BI to connect to it. And the beauty is that Microsoft will take care of that even if they change something behind, your reports will not crash because the queries will cover this. That's a good idea for the direct reporting. I met a couple of BI-related companies on the conference. By the way, they did something similar. So this is a way even to build your application for smaller customers. If you don't have so much data, that's a pretty good way, but it will connect directly to the database. So be aware of this, it can slow down the process. So one part Microsoft emphasizes was how we will deliver reports in the future, and nicely they explained it in the way we did from the BI guys at Datenkultur over decades now. So it is a question about one clear data source, unbreakable, and use it in that way. We use it as a data warehouse for bigger data, but it's the same go for those predefined data sources. What Microsoft also will deliver, and already delivers part of, is predefined Power BI content. The same goes for this Excel experience. So you get a bunch of Excel reports predefined. You get also a bunch of Power BI reports predefined, and you can change everything. They are fully enhanceable. All KPIs are visible. You can change them. You can understand it. You can add fields or functions from your data from your application, ISV solution, whatever, into it, enhance it, and get a fitting idea for the customer, for your special business, for your vertical. So behind this, nice, you can change it. You get everything, the whole model. So you will not have a big problem with data mashup because there are some gaps, 1 million rows only and stuff like this. It slows it down a lot, and so that's a good way to start to build your own Power BI environment for your solution. By the way, if you need help, here we are, call us, happy to. Another part, and this is a little bit new for a couple of business intelligence, not for the business intelligence guys, but for the Dynamics guys. So normally you build a report and maybe outside a dashboard. Now we have 3 approaches to get data out or use data for the customer needs. So first is to look at live or refresh data. So from time to time, that's one part. If you get directly to the data by the queries, then you get live data. If you have bigger amount of data, maybe it's a good idea to refresh it, pull the data to Power BI, and then you can analyze the deep dive. Another big question is, can we use a BC security, or do we have to set up an additional one? And this is totally okay to have an additional one, especially when you have additional data, because you can't cover additional data like an Excel sheet or CSV files or another application like Dynamics for sales. So you have to set up a common security system on top of that, and fortunately Power BI can do this for you. What would you do? Have a list, maybe pivot slicing. Do you need visuals and graphic, a map, KPIs? So this is another part to think about when you try to build the right data for your customer needs. So, and last question, of course, how to share this, because there are differences as well. But when you integrate everything into the client, then it becomes kind of seamless. When we talk about this, Microsoft is working on Report Explorer vision. So they got the idea that a couple of customers were complaining that Dynamics BC doesn't have any reporting capabilities. That wasn't true, but they didn't find it. And this is what they would like to change right now. They would say, okay, we will have a new report and analyze sections where we put together all these different reporting types, separated also in departments. You have it in one place, and it's not finished yet, it's in development still, but you will have a first glimpse if you have a report, and it will maybe show a screenshot, and you can understand what is the meaning, the purpose of this particular report. And this was what I was really curious what will happen. Most of you from the BI departments or the BI companies already heard of Microsoft Fabric. So this preview still seems pretty young. It is the whole Microsoft BI offering in one place. This is a game changer from the business intelligence perspective. You will see in the next slide. I will explain a little bit more what is behind it. But there's one thing really essential to it, and this is that there is a data lake in the middle of everything. And a data lake, when you think from BI perspective, is something where you take all the data out of your data sources, put them together from these different data sources, and then build a BI solution on top of this and use the resulting data. But you can also use the raw data for data science purposes. And this is pretty cool. This is the way to go. We do this with bigger projects for a couple of years already, but now it's suited like Office and in one single pricing model where you can use it as a middle in your company, as the middle place for your data. Everything what you would like to report can and should be there. And this is at last. It is there for finance and operations for quite a while already. In earlier times they used the concept of bring your own database, so it was a little bit difficult, but the F&O copies delta files of the data while pasting into the data lake. And this will come for BC as well, and this is pretty a blast. This will change a lot because the data ingestion into a data lake is then, when it comes, it's in development, okay. But when it comes, then the data ingestion for business intelligence is automatically in the data lake, and it's delta, so you can build a report on top of that with no additional work, but you can also use it as base for your data warehouse or data lakehouse. I will come to this a little bit later. Cool. So what's Microsoft Fabric at all? First of all, we have the data factory integrated. This is a data ingestion tool where you can connect to different data sources and pull data into the data lake. I already mentioned the one lake down there. The one lake is one big data lake where everything, all of your data should go in. And for the sake of completeness, it's built in data parquet files. There's a pretty modern way to store data, and you can time travel with it because the changes are there. So this subject of slowly changing dimension is also easily manageable with it. Pretty cool. Next part is the data engineering part. This is regarding to building data lakehouses. So it's made by Spark. You can develop it in Python and Jupyter notebooks. So for a couple of people who are familiar with SQL Server, that's something not strange. But on the other hand, there's data sciences which come from the Python world. It is pretty much easier to go in, and this is where the Synapse Data Warehouse comes in, T-SQL. So me, like a dinosaur, developing SQL source code since 30 years already. Don't mention that to someone. So I'm used to it, and you can do the same thing with Synapse Data Science or Synapse Data Warehouse. Behind the scenes, it's all data paquet. It's a different way to build the structured data models for your analysis and reporting. But there's more. There's Synapse real-time analytics, pretty cool and pretty fast. So you can use the IoT data, send it to the Synapse real-time analytics via KQL into a CustoDB, and then you can set up a Power BI report on top of that, and you get really near real-time data. So that's the right word for it. I've seen it, and it's much more beautiful than the earlier versions. There's something new, pretty new. It's in preview since 2, 3, 4 weeks, I don't know. So this is the data activator. This is the idea behind is when you get a KPI or a complex data situation, then you can start tasks based on those changes. This is something I have a couple of customers asking for exactly that. It's not so easy to build up on Power BI only, especially if you would like to have it on live data. And so responsible is Will Thompson. This is the guy from the early Power BI videos. I guess a lot of you have seen a video from him already. So in Billund Power BI Next Tech last year, I guess it was, he told us he get new jobs, and all the auditorium was telling us, "Ooh," and now I know he is responsible for this data activator part. So cool. That will give it a good drive to become a pretty professional tool. I was not able to test it, but I will. There will come a video of this. But again, that they introduced that BC will have a copy to data lake, the Delta copy to data lake as well. This is pretty a blast. I hope it will come. And yeah, the conference was cool overall. I learned a lot. I saw a lot. I met a lot of people, but with this information, the conference already was a success for me to be there. So this is really essential for if you are dedicated and say to Dynamics BC and Power BI, data warehousing, all this stuff, then this is really good news. The vision for Power BI is no print, online consuming, out-of-the-box reporting, no-code, low-code experience, easy to access data. This is the idea behind. So this is what they would like to encourage the partners, to encourage the customers, don't print all this stuff. And they are saying the world is changing in reporting. I would like to say, no, this is not new. That is since years already, because the tools are out there. If you are a BC developer and think and report and list and stuff like this, then you maybe get to the customer and say, "Oh, tell me what should I do." This is not the idea behind analytics. The idea behind analytics is go to the customer and ask him, what do you need to analyze? For what? What would you like to achieve? That's the idea behind. And then go back with this information, try to understand the business process behind, and then come up with a good idea. We call it scribbles. So write a dashboard down and say, okay, this could be, there's an area for this part to understand, maybe the sales figures, and there you need an overview of the customers and maybe for the items and a deep dive behind. This is business intelligence knowledge thinking about, and this is what we deliver to the customer. they often can't themselves say what they would like to have because they don't know how it looked like and they don't know what is possible. I told this to customers and partners, mostly partners, since a decade already. So thanks Microsoft for also repeating this. It's an obvious one. Nice. What I always love is that Microsoft often uses our company name, Datenkultur, data culture, as a name to tell all about data analysis. It's us. So if you see it, data culture, think of Datenkultur Germany. That's us. Ask us if you have questions regarding to business intelligence or Power BI. I found a nice new solution, Cosmos Data Technologies, a fully SaaS Microsoft Dynamics BC integrated application, and that is two tools in one. It is the possibility to do Excel reporting automated as a fully SaaS functionality. So you can use the Office 365 experience in the cloud, in the browser, and can run your reports, can schedule your reports. They deliver a predefined set which is fully enhanced. It is fully sourced, but you can use it as on-prem reporting as well. So behind the scenes, they deliver a perfect star schema for Power BI as well, and you can change this. So this is the second part of this application. You can build data model and the data ingestion from a simple portal way to add new fields or build aggregations or some stuff like this. So it's a generator for a data warehouse. And it delivers the data warehouse, it delivers the solution to show all the data nicely automated in Excel, both on-prem and SaaS. And on the other hand, it generates in a simple way a data warehouse, which is not an easy task to do in yourself, and it's necessary when you deep a little bit more into business intelligence. It's extremely fast, looks easy to handle. So it also has the capability for security. You can schedule your Excel reporting. You can automatically share this. You can check in, check out. So all the parts we missed in the last years when we think about Excel reporting. And I have and I will test it intensively. I already asked for a partner license. And I will come up with a separate video regarding to this. I'm looking forward to it. It looks pretty convincing. Looks like this could be the next big one, but I will come up with it later. So folks, that's all from BI perspective from Lyon directions. Sure. We had to leave. We did. We're back in Hamburg already. So see you in Vienna next year. Looking forward to it. My next conference, I guess, will be a virtual one. Maybe I'm a speaker as well. I offered some sessions, let's see. But I will find stuff regarding to Fabric, especially into Power BI, and put together what I found and tell it to you. So follow me, follow this task. You will see always new interesting stuff around Microsoft Business Intelligence. That's all from me. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.